I know that you were a coach before you got
Hurt, yeah.
so I wanted to ask you about that. Can you say a little bit about what brought you to Mount St. Vincent?
When I went in one day for an MRI because I was having spasms in my back, I had an operation to get my bottom vertebrae fused together and put spacers in there because I have what's called stenosis of the spine, which is a narrowing of your spine. And then I also have rheumatoid arthritis, which makes your bones real brittle. I've had problems with my lungs filling up with fluids, and my kidneys started to shut down because of all the medicines I was taking.
Where's your hope coming from?
My faith.
What is your faith?
It's a Christian.
Have you been a Christian your whole life?
Off and on, yeah.
Yeah.
When it's convenient.
Yeah. It's real convenient right now,
Yeah.
right? Can you tell a little bit about your life and especially about the coaching?
When I was in high school, we lived in Germany, and so I kind of fell in love with soccer there. I started playing it and then played a little bit in high school. My first plan in my life was to be a policeman because I wanted to, fix the world. But you don't fix anything when you're a policeman. It's a pretty miserable existence, actually. So when I stopped doing that, I had a friend of mine that said, hey, come coach soccer. Because I like kids, and my first wife couldn't have kids. So I started coaching soccer, and that was 37 years ago. I'm a very competitive person. If you present a challenge to me, I'm going to exceed it. And the more someone tells me I can't do something, the more strong-willed I am to do it.
Well, that's a fantastic quality.
Yeah.
Especially now, right?
I mean, my doctor told me, you have less than a 3% chance to walk. And when I started walking a little bit, I sent him a video flipping him off. Just let him know your 3% sucks. So.
Did you get a response back?
No, I'm still waiting for it.
Oh my God. Are you doing any coaching?
Yes. When I got hurt, I couldn't coach club soccer anymore. So that's 2 years ago now. Because I'm here, but I coach Special Olympics, and I've been doing that for 35 years.
How is coaching Special Olympics different from coaching?
There's no different. Some of the quality of play is different, but the group that I've coached for the last 15 years, they're competitive athletes, and we've been one of the top teams in every sport in the state.
In the Special Olympics?
Yeah.
So that's astounding.
Well, it's not really, because most people coach Special Olympics because they're bleeding hearts or they've gotten in trouble and they need to do community service.
Well, so why do you do it?
Just because of the passion they have for what they're doing. The first thing I tell everybody I coach is when you step on the field, you're an athlete. I don't care if you're ability or disability. You don't use the word can't or you go home. I'm not here to hear can't. I can't do this or I can't do that. If you're having a can't day, then stay home that practice. I'll understand.
How do they respond?
Very well, just like the non-disabled athletes I coach. I think they respond better. No one's ever told them that they're an athlete. Nobody's ever said that, when you show up here, you matter. You matter enough that I'm going to hold you to your best every time you come here. So my teams have always done well.
I bet they love that.
Yeah, we get along really good, and I've got good camaraderie with them, and it's a lot of fun. For Special Olympics, I've always coached adults. So I've coached everything from 15-year-olds to 63-year-olds. You just got to simplify it a little bit for them to get a hold of it. And it takes a little longer for them to understand what you want in some cases. And that's the misunderstanding people have of Special Olympics, because all you see on TV are the advertisements of the poor kid running you sideways down the track. These guys that do Special Olympics are athletes. Some have Down syndrome, or some have been dropped when they were little kids. So they're not as disabled as people think they are. A kid with Down syndrome can understand as much as anybody else. How I got involved in Special Olympics was I was at my national coach's license course, and I met a guy from Texas that was involved in Special Olympics. And he was telling everybody, hey, you're going to go back, you're going to have people paying you money to coach their kids. Take some time to coach this group. It's really rewarding. And so right after I got back, they have the summer games out of Fort Lewis. So I went out there and I watched some games. And I watched the two most competitive teams in the state playing each other.
And this is a Special Olympics?
That is a Special Olympics tournament. And it was for the gold medal. And this guy broke away and stepped in a pothole and fell down. In most sports, somebody would have come up, taken the ball, and went down the other direction. But everybody stopped on the field, let him get up, let him continue on his way, and he went down and he scored the winning goal. And I was like, this is not what I want to coach. But so I asked one of the athletes as he was coming off the field, why didn't you guys get the ball? And he goes, well, that's Harold. He does it all the time. He starts running and he loses his balance and falls down. Why am I going to make Harold feel bad for a disability that he has? We'll beat him another time. We play him all the time. And I thought, that's the attitude that I want, is just the fairness. We're not going to take advantage of somebody just because they made this mistake that they have no control over. But at the same time, they're competitive. And that just blew me away, and that's how I got involved in it.
I was just thinking about you, with your competitive streak.
Yeah.
No holes barred, we're going to get this. But to see that, you had to adjust your whole
My whole frame of mind.
your whole frame of
being.
mind
Yeah.
changed, right?
Yeah.
What was the happiest moment that you've had coaching?
I took a team in 1995. I took a team to the World Games, which is all the countries in the world come together and compete like the Olympics for Special Olympics. Half disabled people and half non-disabled people. 14 days of nothing but soccer. That was the happiest time coaching. I had a really good female keeper, which is the goalie. We had every team we play against file a complaint because girls can't be goalkeepers. We had a couple girls on the team because they were better than the guys on the teams that tried out for the team. And so one of them was a goalkeeper, and she was just really, really good. What I discovered quickly in our first game is that the opposing countries wouldn't shoot on her because if she stopped it, then they were weak. If they scored a goal, they were being a mean person. And so we ended up taking fourth in the tournament because we accidentally kicked the ball into our own goal and we lost 1-0. Yeah, I met people from all over the country, and we played, that year we played, what was it, Iran? I can't remember, a couple of Caribbean countries, and Peru. Without exception, everybody filed a complaint. A couple of the other countries' coaches are like, man, I wish I would have thought of that.